Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second edition of Katapult Africa Investor Day here in this beautiful city of Kigali. Today, we'll be taking a look at 9 amazing companies that we've been working with over this last 3 months, solving challenges across the food value chain systems here in Africa. But first, allow me to thank you for spending this next 1 hour with us to hear more about these companies and share their stories. Welcome to this pitch event. Let me start by saying, Africa is rising. It's an amazing continent. But that said, Africa is not without its challenges. But again, as we all know, with challenges, there are opportunities. And every day across this continent, many entrepreneurs wake up every day to solve those challenges. As this continent grows, so does the pressure on our food system. It is estimated that by 2050, the population of Africa will be 2.5 billion. Let me break that down for you. In 2050, 2 out of every 5 births on this globe will be African. And that's an amazing opportunity. But the challenge is, the warmer regions are facing desertification. And those that do have the ability to produce food are susceptible to climate shocks. And this really impacts farmers, the smallholder farmers especially, that produce and currently sustain the African food value chain systems. But this does create an opportunity for both the smallholder farmers and the investors. An opportunity to see them increase their yields, but also meet the demand of the growing population. It also gives them the ability to create wealth for themselves and their families, but also ultimately create the much needed jobs on this continent. But at Katapult, we believe that we can't just do business as usual. To be able to meet this demand, we need to invest in the technologies, the right technologies that will help scale and meet the challenges in infrastructure, challenges in finance, challenges in market access, and we're investing in those companies today. For me personally, it is exciting to see that last year, 2022, Africa attracted over $6.5 billion into early stage companies. But unfortunately for agriculture, it's not enough. Agriculture only saw 1.8% of that, and there's still a lot to do. Food and agri systems in Africa are still nascent, very fragmented, and today Africa is a net importer. And yet Africa in the future has a role to play in being a net exporter to the global food supply chains. And that is why early stage technology industry here in Africa is an attractive asset class for investors such as yourself and many across the globe. At Katapult, we're excited and privileged to be working with many amazing companies across the globe. Since 2017, we've invested in over 170 companies, and 38 of those here in Africa. Today, you're going to hear from companies that are solving some really interesting challenges. Over in Nigeria, solving for visibility across the cold chain. Over to Ghana, where they're trying to produce alternative proteins from insects. Yes, from insects that are a delicacy in Ghana. And yes, I've had the privilege of tasting them, and they really do taste amazing. Over to Kenya, where companies are looking at how do we solve for finance, access to finance, but also marketplace access for both fish farmers and poultry farmers that are meeting the needs of urban consumers. After the pitches, we encourage you to spend some time on air tables with them to get to hear more about their stories and how you can be a part of their journeys. But before we get to meet these amazing companies, I'd like the opportunity to introduce you to the rest of the Katapult Africa team. These are the guys who really make it happen. Come join us. So we are here as Katapult Africa in this amazing tea estate, Sorowate, in the northern part of Rwanda, in the district of Rulindo, in Kinihira. It's an amazing place, and I thought this would be a great place to have a conversation about what we've been doing the last year, and talk about the companies that we've been working with. But first, I thought maybe over to you, Channy. You've been working with them, seen them through the program. Why food and climate?
So it's interesting you asked that. Something that we're currently experiencing is actually rapid population growth in Africa, but in particular around middle income and urban populations. Now with this comes actually this issue of food insecurity. You know, we have growing population, but our food is just not being able to keep up with the demand. And unfortunately, what happens is that the smallholder farmers in Africa, which is where most of our food comes from, they lack both the technology and the infrastructure. And so this sort of disjointed issue around food insecurity, because our crop yields are not being able to, you know, be very efficient. And so what we're finding is actually quite important for us to focus on this area of crop yield. So if we can help with access to technology and infrastructure for the smallholder farmers, hopefully we can curb a little bit this issue of food insecurity that we're currently experiencing in Africa.
Thank you, Chani. If I borrow from what you just said around the infrastructure challenges that we have, particularly in agriculture in Africa, and how we solve that one, I think maybe over to you, Junior, is why Africa? Why are we doing what we do?
Well, we've already established that because Africa has the land and has the youth working force, there's a lot of growth, especially in the area of agriculture. But for that to become an attractive value proposition for this youth, but also for the African economy in general, building on that infrastructure that Chani touched on, by empowering these agri-tech and food tech sectors, which are very undeveloped if you compare them to the rest of the planet, really should be the driving force in order to see that growth we're looking for. And as Katapult, it makes sense to invest in those businesses because we see it as a way of driving innovation, increasing competitiveness, and hopefully catalyzing growth in those specific sectors that could be the backbone of building the agriculture sector on the African continent.
No, thanks, Junior. I think you mentioned something personally. For me, what excites me about Africa is the potential of the youthful companies, startups, and the entrepreneurs across the continent. I mean, we took a look at over 800 companies in the last year. And that, to me, personally excites me and what Katapult can do and add value to the ecosystem here. But maybe over to you, Kosi. What do you think, if someone asks you why Katapult, why are we doing what we do?
Thank you, Philip. It aligns with Katapult's mission. As an impact tech accelerator, Katapult is focused on supporting startups tackling global challenges including climate change, inequality, poverty. So investing in the agri and food space of Africa actually aligns with this mission, as it would help address the issue of food insecurity and also improve the livelihood of farmers, as challenges we know they are prone to, such as inconsistencies across the value chain and lack of access to market, will be eliminated by some of the solutions this startup provide.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned it right. The value chain inconsistencies is one big one, particularly in Africa, where there are different countries and different markets moving goods from one place to the other, but also access to markets. I think it'd be a great time now as a team just to head back to the Norsken and get to have a chat with the rest of our team who are all over the world. But to our team here at Swati, we've really enjoyed the tea, and thanks again for everyone who's had us here. Thank you. Well, guys, welcome back from the tea farm. That was a great experience there, and getting to hear more about your thoughts. Now, I thought we'd come back to this wonderful place here, back home at our Norsken house here in Kigali, and get to meet our wonderful team across the globe. We had a couple questions to ask you guys about your experiences, and I'll start with Timame over in Nairobi. Timame, why don't you give us a sense of what you've seen through the portfolio, our selection, the deal process. Just give us some nuggets that you've come across. We'd be glad to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Philip. I think that throughout our process and what we went through, first of all, in sourcing for deal flow, we're just so grateful for all the people who were able to kind of rally up and help us find deal flow, for us being our first year kind of kicking this off. So other funds, other incubators, other accelerators that were able to kind of come up and rally up a bit of pipeline for us, and we're really grateful.
Thanks, Imame. One thing I've picked out from you is the partnerships, which are very relevant to what we do and in terms of building the ecosystem, so we're excited about that. But one of the things we did was, one of the most gruesome bits was finding out who are the best people to join the Katapult Africa Seed Fund and actually the program. And for that, we had the wonderful Mr. Fabrice Boulet out in Mauritius. Fabrice, why don't you tell us about what you went through, the gruesomeness, the hard knocks, tell us about that. And what's your thoughts about the portfolio?
No, the portfolio is a very good one. It's a very interesting one. We have 9 startups from across the entire value chain, engaging farmers and really committing to make an impact. And it is something to say that 2020, 2021, and 2022 have been very difficult years for these farmers. We've seen some major climatic events, but also macroeconomic problems and inflation, increase in supply costs, and it has not been an easy year for the agricultural value chain in Africa.
Thank you, Fabrice. I think one thing I got from you is the intentionality about all the portfolio companies about solving challenges in where they are working and trying to have impact in their communities. So thanks so much, Fabrice. And now, part of what we've done, again, as you can see, we've got Timami out in Nairobi, Fabrice out in Mauritius, and now over to Mr. Danny over back in Oslo, out in HQ. 2023, we're looking for an exciting year. I think this is a year that we're looking at what happens, what are we looking for. Why don't you share some thoughts about what we have in planned? Because this was our first year, 2022 was our first year, but we're here to stay, we're here, exciting stuff ahead. And so why don't you share some thoughts about what Katapult has in plan?
Thanks, Philip, and thanks, team in Rwanda. Wish I was there with you all today. I think 3 exciting things to look forward to from Katapult Africa in 2023, and we really look forward to engaging with all of you here on the Investor Day on these going forward. So the first is that we're looking to accelerate more companies. We're looking to invest in more great startups working in this important space, and to do that, we're going to be broadening our focus a little bit to widen our interest in other key climate sectors alongside agriculture.
Thank you. Danny, 2023 is looking to be an exciting year. Now, from the team at Katapult Africa, those in different parts of the world, those here in Kigali, would like to invite you to join us, take a look at some of the portfolio companies. Over to the team.
Great, thank you very much for that, Philip. And now on to our startup pitches. Up first, we have Vetsark from Nigeria. Over to you, Vetsark.
Hello, my name is Mene Blessing and I am the founder and CEO of Vetsark. I have a background in livestock agriculture, fundraising, technology, and social entrepreneurship. I grew up in a family of farmers and I've worked with thousands of farmers in Nigeria and Africa. And my experience has taught me to feel and understand the pains confronting the everyday African farmer. Meet Sammy, a small-scale chicken farmer who sells eggs. Sammy has aspirations. She wants to make more money and take good care of her family. Unfortunately, each time Sammy goes to the bank to apply for a loan, it takes the bank several months to make a decision and eventually she gets a rejection. This has created a funding gap in Africa of $240 billion according to Darba, and this is growing every year. Sammy represents millions of small-scale farmers who have aspirations but are trapped in a cycle of poverty because they have no capital to expand their business. And this is where Vetsark comes in. Vetsark helps farmers raise funds from banks. We do that by providing them a simple business management app where they get a digital bank account, keep track of their income and expenses, and apply for a loan. We take the data from these farms and use our in-house proprietary technology to perform some credit risk assessment that helps us provide the farmers like Sammy the right amount of loan to help their businesses grow and make profits. In Nigeria, we are acquiring farms fast through cooperatives, and we have also established partnerships with one of Nigeria's leading banks, FCMB, to unlock over $2 million in financing to small-scale farmers. In Kenya, we are working with a nutrition multinational, DSM, to provide access to inputs to thousands of small-scale farmers in Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, and other African countries. You would agree with me, nothing great is ever achieved alone. My team is made up of strong, diverse and talented people, including myself as the CEO and our CTO, Mayowa Ajayi, who has a background in engineering leadership and software development, and Cynthia Mene, who has a background in strategy and operations and serves as a director. We also have an advisory board made up of experts in fintech, in technology, digitization, and impact. We are also backed by Katapult and GIZ. We are on a mission to transform agri-financing in Africa and take away the headache of fundraising that has affected millions of small-scale farmers over the last few decades. By 2035, we would have unlocked $15 billion in financing to 500,000 farms and agribusinesses in Africa. Imagine the impact. Millions of jobs created, millions of food produced, and thousands or hundreds of thousands of women empowered. And most importantly, a continent of prosperous farmers and profitable farms. So here is an investment opportunity for you. We are raising $750,000 at a $3.5 million pre-money valuation, which closes May 30th, 2023. You will not get a second chance to own a part of Vetsark at a lower valuation. So, to take this conversation further, I would like to invite you to talk with me at my booth. Thank you.
That was a fantastic presentation. Now all the way to Morocco with Green.
I'm sure you already know that 25% of greenhouse gas emissions are caused by agriculture, partly because of deforestation. And you will tell me, okay, but we have to feed an ever-growing population, and to do so we need those arable lands in forest. But do you know that each year we're losing 13 million hectares of arable lands due to soil aridification and desertification? Hi, I'm Ben, and I co-founded Green, a French-Moroccan startup that cultivates desert to feed humanity and fight climate change. To transform arid lands into arable lands, we have developed a solution which is based on two bricks. First, an agroforestry software specific to arid environment. Inspired by Oasis system, our model is a result of 3 years of R&D that allow us to know the best combination of trees and plants to regenerate our soil according to the conditions. Developed in partnership with scientists across the globe, it allows us to predict yield, carbon capture, and water requirements. Our second brick is desalination to irrigate our plantation. We use small, containerized, and solar desalination units, and we add brine management. Those two bricks allow us to create agroforestry plantations that are scalable, modular, and which generate income through the food production of the tree, the intercropping, and high additionality carbon credits. Our business model is based on the establishment and operation of each plantation, allowing Green to get two revenue streams. First, managing fees, about 2% of the asset under management. Second, a carry-on fee based on the performance of each plantation. To become the reference player in dryland agriculture and soon manage thousands of hectares, we have the best team. Wissal is an agronomist engineer from Aquarech and part of the well-known family of social entrepreneurs from southern Morocco. She manages our plantation in Morocco on a daily basis. Gauthier designs the project from our office in Paris and manages the relationship with our asset managers. We just finished a pre-seed round of $1 million to scale up and structure our activities in Morocco, and we're currently looking to initiate discussion with VC for the next round of $4 million in 2025 to scale up and build up across the African continent. So if you want to feed humanity with a more sustainable and resilient agriculture that helps to fight global warming, join us to cultivate deserts.
Hello everyone attending this important Investor Day. My name is Stella Mugabu, Rwanda's Country Director at TBI, and I'm pleased and honored to speak at this important event. As a trusted advisor to governments across the globe, it's key for TBI's mission to help leaders and entrepreneurs harness technology and innovation to change people's lives for the better. Africa is on the way to becoming a global hub for technology startups, and the government leaders that we are working with on the continent wish to support technology and innovation by creating jobs for their countries and for their people. So this exciting project aims to unlock the potential for technology to improve the continent's food systems, but also combating the global climate change. We believe and hope that the technology startups that will be selected under this Katapult program will help do this on finding new ways of tackling scarcity and food insecurity in Rwanda and beyond. This is more important than ever given the challenging climate change, the rising costs post-COVID, and of course the impact that the global conflicts have on the continent, but also on the African people. It also presents a great investment opportunity in a market that is growing rapidly, but remains so far largely untapped, offering attractive economic returns, as well as delivering meaningful impact. And with that, I wish everyone participating fruitful interactions, and TBI looks forward to continued partnership on this exciting initiative and beyond. I thank you.
That was a great pitch. Now, on to Kenya, where we'll be hearing from the team at Aquarech. Over to you, Aquarech.
My name is Devo Ketch. I'm the founder and CEO of Aquarech Limited. Aquarech was founded out of my experience as a fish farmer doing cage fish farming in Homa Bay County in Kenya. It was during this period that we were going through a lot of challenges in the sector. As smallholder farmers, we couldn't get access to quality feeds, we were lacking all the technical support, and there was no way we could move our produce. The innovation was actually derived out of this experience. The aquaculture sector remains on unscalable foundations, and some of the challenges include lack of access to quality feeds, which leaves smallholder fish farmers to use sinking mash feed that is environmentally bad for the pollution of lakes and rivers, prolongs their production period by up to 16 months, which makes the fish expensive, non-commercial value. Other factors include lack of credit facility that can enable small and medium-sized fish farmers to access credit throughout the production period. To solve some of these challenges that the sector faces, we have come up with a mobile-based platform that is IoT-powered, which enables small and medium-sized fish farmers to access top-quality feeds at the comfort of their phone. We are also reducing the production period of farmers from 16 months to 10 months. Further to this, the platform also provides a fish stock marketplace, which enables farmers to access immediate market for their fish produce. We are also providing credit facility through our business model that allows farmers to buy feeds on credit and pay later, building farmers' resilience to climate change by supporting precision feeding using IoT sensors, reduce the production cost by up to 35%. All this leads to increased income. We have built a wonderful team made up of young and vibrant people from diverse backgrounds. My co-founder and CTO is a computer engineer who drives the tech platform and makes sure the tech delivers on its efficiency to the users. We have a team that is made up of over 100 years combined total experience in the agribusiness sector, some of whom are doing farm-to-farm relationship management, some are in the finance and looking forward to revolutionizing the agriculture sector. We are in the fundraising process with a target of $3 million seed fund, which we want to close by Q1 2023. This fund is split between equity and debt, part of which is going to be used to set up the physical infrastructure that is needed for vertical integration of the technology. We are also going to use part of these funds for team hire, to acquire the necessary talent that we need to scale, and also working capital to buy the inputs and have them available on the platform. We have a special lead, Vetsark, who is leading the fundraise for us on this round, joined by Acumen, Katapult, and Mexico. Thank you for your attention. Come meet me and my team at the table as we need more investors joining us in this round and even on the following round as we revolutionize fish farming in Africa.
Let's move on to our next company, all the way to Ghana. This is Legendary Food. Over to you, Shobita.
I am Shobita Soor, the founder and CEO of Legendary Foods, where we are on a mission to deliver the nutrition of meat at the price point and sustainability of plants. I believe that everybody, regardless of geography or income, should have the right to a sense of well-being. at the crux of which is the mind-body connection. And for this, it's crucial to have access to great nutrition and good quality protein sources. Unfortunately, globally, there is a pending protein crisis, one that is certainly exacerbated on the African continent due to the high reliance on imported proteins and imported inputs. This means that many local systems are often unsustainable and unscalable. Conventional livestock rearing methodology is destructive to the planet. At Legendary Foods, we have built the largest vertical palm larva farm. Using climate-smart technology, collecting thousands of data points a day, and our proprietary rearing protocol, we farm a climate-positive and desired protein source. When you compare palm larva to its traditional livestock counterparts, it is a superfood containing zinc, B vitamins, and iron, many of the nutrients that the local population is deficient in. And it is extremely resource efficient. It takes far less land, water, and feed to produce palm larvae than other forms of livestock, and there is a negligible amount of greenhouse gases emitted. We have a legendary leadership team with over 60 years of relevant industry experience. I myself have 10 years of experience in the insect agriculture industry, having formerly co-founded Aspire Food Group, the world's largest cricket producer, producing over 9,000 metric tons annually. Our director of sales launched Nescafé in West and Central Africa, building the business from $0 to $40 million. And our head of farming and engineering built West Africa's largest fly farm. Earlier this year, we closed our pre-seed round, which is enabling us to catalyze our farming and processing capacities. And later this year, we'll be launching an $8 million seed round to build an industrial scale farm. From there, we'll be launching facilities in Nigeria, Cameroon, and DRC, including components of mechanization and slashing our unit economics by more than half. And then we're going global to serve the world's largest market, China, resulting in an annualized revenue of over $100 million. Our capital strategy includes both a mix of equity partners in the form of corporate VCs and impact investors, as well as subsidized debt for the CapEx component. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you will join our journey in becoming Africa's largest alternative protein food tech business. Thank you.
Africa has the highest entrepreneurship rate in the world. In combination with the rapid technical advancements on the continent, new opportunities arise both for the large growing population but also for the continent as a whole. That's why at Smart Africa we are very excited and proud to support the Katapult Africa Acceleration Program. We help identifying the most promising startup for the program, mobilizing mentors and experts, but also industry and funding partners through our network, while increasing visibility of the program within our network and beyond. As part of our alliance missions to transform Africa into a single digital market by 2030, we focus on empowering the startup ecosystem throughout the continent, and the Katapult initiative is a tremendous asset to the boost of the startup environment. Thank you.
Some great pitches here. Now we're going to head over to Senegal, where we'll be hearing from the team at Afrikamart. Afrikamart, take it away.
Hi, my name is Minyan Diouf, co-founder and CEO of Afrikamart, an agri-tech company based in Senegal, and we are on a mission to serve the underserved of food value chains in Africa. When we look at fruits and vegetables in Africa, 80% comes from smallholder farmers, while 90% is sold to end consumers by small retailers. Yet, these two populations are among the most vulnerable in the continent because the food supply chain in Africa is terrible. There is an over-fragmentation on both ends, poor logistics, multiple middlemen between the people who produce the food and the people who sell it. Our solution is a digital marketplace who's connecting smallholder farmers to retailers with an asset-light supply chain model. We are leveraging data and technology to prevent food loss and save logistic costs. Our technology controls a network of collection centers and dispatching centers where products are moved from farms to retailers in less than 18 hours. We operate like a trade agent, buying and selling at best prices. Our model enables to decide quickly where to buy at what price and route the products where it's the most needed. We can adapt to different customers, from small retailers to hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, and even international buyers. The market is huge. There are over 150 billion kilos of fruits and vegetables consumed in Africa in a year. The Senegalese market only is estimated at 1 billion euros, and we are planning to expand in 5 more countries by 2027. Regarding industry landscape, there are successful companies that have already proven the model, especially in Asia, but none of them have expanded out of their home market yet. We have the opportunity to be the first mover in French-speaking West Africa, and we believe that our model, combining flexible logistics and technology, will allow us to consider international expansion faster. Our traction is good, with 37% revenue growth in the past months. Last January, we have collected over 100,000 kilos of fresh produce, reached a 45,000 euros minimum recurring revenue, which represents 10x since our last seed round closed in May 22. Our database counts over 2,000 farmers and 2,500 retailers. We have a strong team with second-time founders who are bringing relevant industry expertise. Our board benefits from experienced professionals from Orange Ventures and Bamboo Capital. They are involved in the company's strategic decisions and governance. For our pre-Series A, we are raising 750,000 euros to hire talents and triple our minimum recurring revenue by the end of the year. We are looking for investors who are interested in tech, marketplace, agriculture or retail, and will be able to do follow-on investments. If you're keen to discuss more, I invite you to contact me. I'm looking forward to engage with you. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Great presentation. Now all the way to Kenya, this is Growagric. Over to you, Growagric.
Hello, I'm Ora Lemide, CEO and co-founder of Growagric, a farmers first agtech based in Kenya. And I would like to tell you today about the very important problem we're solving. Meet Beatrice. Beatrice is a smallholder farmer based in Thika, Kenya. And a few days before I met her, she had just completed her 6th unsuccessful finance bank application. She was frustrated. She was frustrated by the complex and unrealistic farm process, which involved the ask for collateral and historic record which she did not have. She was even more frustrated because as a result of producing low volumes, she has to keep selling to middlemen who buy at low prices. She is not alone. Across Africa, we need a 70% increase in food production by 2050, but less than 1% of bank lending goes to agriculture. And that's where we come in. At Growagric, we provide farmers such as Beatrice, George, and Yeri with the working capital they need to increase productivity and profitability. And we just don't stop there. We also provide them access to insurance, training, as well as a farm management tool so Beatrice can start to build this historic record, and we connect every farmer to buyers who buy at competitive prices. Through our work, we're able to ensure that every single smallholder farmer we work with is able to increase productivity by 85%, as well as make an additional $750 in revenue per annum. We don't only do this, we also create jobs through the work that we do, and we're heavily focused on the youth and women. My team and I usually refer to Growagric as a company for farmers by farmer, because between us we have over 35 years of experience farming for local and international export, and this is why we're so passionate about helping our farmers to farm better and earn better. We're also backed as a team by leading names such as Katapult, US Chamber of Commerce, Lab 8, amongst many others. In less than 2 years, we've been successful at working with over 2,000 farmers. However, we've set for ourselves an ambitious target to optimize the agricultural value chain such that 1 in every 3 farmers is financed by Growagric. We're currently raising $1 million, which we hope to close by May this year, and we'd like to welcome you to join us. Join us and earn significant return as we turn Growagric into a market leader. By 2025, we will be generating $25 million in revenue and empowering at least 50,000 farmers. And how are we going to get there? We're going to start with a wait list of farmers which we've built. We have a wait list of farmers requiring over $500,000 in working capital. Interested in hearing more about our plans? Join us in our breakout room. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Omurungi, and I'm the Deputy Managing Director here at Norskin. So here at Norskin, we have the vision to create Africa's biggest hub for entrepreneurship. And we're really founded on the belief that technology is truly the solution to solving some of the greatest challenges that we're facing today, rapidly and at a massive scale. So as we continue to build our ecosystem where technology and impact really go hand in hand, I think having a partner like Katapult is just truly a delight. Because together we can make impact investing mainstream and really accelerate the growth of the startups that are having a massive impact on this continent.
The pitches are really heating up here. Now we're going to head over to Ghana to hear from the team at Elucid. Take us away, Elucid.
Supply chains are at the core of economic prosperity. Still, too many people in sourcing origins lack access to basic human rights.
Consumers demand to change that.
This is also reflected in recent EU and US reporting standards for sustainability and supply chain due diligence.
But companies are struggling to obtain reliable data and improve health and livelihoods of producers in sourcing origins.
And we are working to change that.
My name is Julius.
And I'm Samuel, and we are the co-founders of Elucid. Our vision is to make global supply chains benefit human health. We are medical doctors, global health researchers, and social entrepreneurs. Previously, we have co-founded a digital health financing platform with now more than 300,000 users in 3 countries, and a medical NGO that works with hundreds of hospitals in sub-Saharan Africa. Our solutions that we co-created with colleagues from all over the world have reached more than 5 million lives so far.
At Elucid, our mission is to build technology that allows companies to assess human rights risks in their supply chains and provide them the tools to improve the health and livelihood of producers.
Effectively engaging with producers in rural farming areas is costly and time-consuming. We have figured out a way to make it work. We have created a digitally enabled ecosystem in the sourcing origin, connecting producers, healthcare providers, and companies. Our platform triangulates and validates data on producers' health and livelihoods, drawing from multiple data sources while fully protecting producers' privacy.
Our solution is up and running in cocoa growing communities in Ghana and in Madagascar. We will be expanding to new cocoa origins in Africa and in South America this year. Our solution is easily scalable. The time we need to implement a new sourcing origin is around 3 months. Yes, 3 months. We leverage existing structures with digital technology. Once we contract with a company, we quickly register producers with the help of community workers. Then we onboard all the health workers providers and integrate with digital payment system in the area. That's quite simple, right?
We launched Elucid in February of 2022. It takes us about 6 to 8 months to go from initial contact to signing a contract, and our sales pipeline is filled with cocoa and coffee manufacturers from Europe, the US, Australia, and Japan. Let's give companies the tools to make the human right to health their priority.
Now to our next superstar all the way in Nigeria, Gricd. Over to you.
Hi, my name is Yotim Ogenetega, and I'm the founder at Gricd. On the African continent today, over $4 billion worth of food is lost due to challenges across the cold chain. And this in turn affects millions of lives by denying them access to food that is required for nutrients and for growth. And this is where we come in at Gricd. We're trying to solve this problem by providing real-time visibility into the storage conditions of goods that are stored or in transit, thereby enabling the owners of such commodity to preempt and prevent losses. We've deployed our solutions across multiple markets, including Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Gabon, to mention a few, and work primarily in two sectors, which is the health and agricultural sector. So far, we've been able to help businesses improve the way they store and transport cold chain products. In some cases, we've helped them improve from a success rate of about 44% to as high as 98%. This means more revenue in the pockets of the businesses that we work with, but also ensures that people who need access to this life-saving commodity gain access to it. Primarily, we're a SaaS business, which means that we generate revenue from subscription to the data that our devices are able to generate. Year on year, we've seen this business model thrive. In 2020, when we started off, we had an ARR of about $2,000, and we're able to grow that to over $95,000 in the subsequent year, and then grow that even higher to almost $200,000 last year. The growth experienced by Gricd today would not have been possible without the remarkable team behind us. The team is made up of 25 individuals, 45% female, 55% male. And the core management team is led by 5 individuals who bring over 70 years combined experience from multiple sectors such as product engineering, business development, and strategy. We're looking to raise a capital of $3 million. This would help us further expand our operations in key markets which we've recently expanded to, which is in the East African region as well as the South African market. Secondly, this fund will be used to further drive the adoption of our insurance product, which has been launched recently in the East African market or in the Kenyan market, and looking to expand into West African region with the same product. At Gricd, we believe that data is the key to unlocking some of the major challenges that affect the loss of perishable items on the continent. And this means that it's also the key to accessibility of life-saving materials for millions of people on the continent as well. We welcome investors to join us on this journey as we keep solving some of the most fundamental issues that plague the continent, and we're happy to take any questions afterwards. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mehraz Rafat. I'm a senior advisor and case officer of the Katapult project on behalf of NORAD. NORAD is the Norwegian government's agency for development assistance, so we promote projects that have a positive impact on the SDGs and especially on poverty reduction in developing countries. We believe that job creation, entrepreneurship and economic growth is vital to achieve both poverty reduction but also to support the other SDGs like the environment or agriculture, food security, climate. So we have an ambition to support the entrepreneurship scene, incubators, accelerators, especially in Africa, to promote entrepreneurship. That is why we have decided to also provide this grant to Katapult, as we saw this important initiative in the field of agricultural technology as something that can be vital for promoting this ecosystem in Africa. Another thing which is very important now is the concept of catalytic finance. So we would like our development assistance money to be catalytic in such a way that it mobilizes private funding to support those same goals. And we like concepts like Katapult, which is mobilizing other investors, other private investors, both to invest in the Katapult fund, but also, bring investors and lenders into the portfolio companies. So we see this as a potentially effective and good way of applying development assistance funding to promote the agenda for job creation and entrepreneurship.
Well, now that you had the opportunity to meet these 9 amazing startup companies from across the continent that Katapult has invested in, we hope you had the opportunity to understand the challenges that they're solving for, but also the opportunity for you as an investor. I'd like to invite you to join each of these founders on the AirMeet tables, where you can get to hear more and in person, get to hear more about their stories, and see opportunities where you can join them. Please do join us on AirMeet. Thank you.